What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Hellbeast. Alright guys, so the random question of the day is a hot dog a sandwich? This is not something I came up with. I have a big list of questions here on my iPad that I go off of, and this one looked pretty interesting, and I feel like a lot of people are going to have some strong opinions about this one, so let me know what you think right down there in the comments box below. I'm going to go with no on this one. I really don't think there's any way a hot dog could be considered a sandwich. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people that would love to argue with me right down there in the comments box, so let me hear you guys' thoughts. So today we're looking at this guy right here, the Hellbeast tank from Hellvape and Beyond Vape, with a big huge shout out and thank you going their way for allowing me to take a look at one of these devices for the purpose of making this video. So I just gotta say, testing out this Hellbeast tank over the past few weeks has been an absolute pleasure. This is a hybrid sub-ohm tank, so you can go from direct to lung mode to mouth to lung mode just by adding on one little piece inside the chamber. You can use a few different types of coils with this tank, and it's just a really fun tank to use. So taking a quick look online, this device comes in 8 different color options for you to choose from. You have full matte black, blue, gold, black, purple, gunmetal, stainless, and rainbow. I of course have the stainless version, as you can see here, and they all come with these really cool looking drip tips as well, which I think is a really great touch. The second I took it out of the box, I saw that it matched with the Shogun mod, and I just had to let it live on top of there. But if you guys want to grab one of these for yourself, it's going to run you about 30 bucks online, and of course I'll leave a link on my website. Link to that will be right down there in the description below. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've got our Hellbeast tank in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging, then we'll talk about what's inside. So yeah, as you can see here, this is the Hellbeast itself, and cool looking graphics on this thing with a little bit of a spot gloss. We've got the Beyond Vape and Hellvape logo here, Hellbeast hybrid tank, sub-ohm and mouth to lung. On this side we have the Beyond Vape logo, and on this side we have the Hellvape logo. On this side we've got Hellbeast, and on the bottom we've got the color indication and UPC with a little bit of social media stuff right down there. And on the back we've got Hellbeast, scratch and check, a little company information and some warnings, features, and the contents of the box. So let's just quickly take a look at what we get inside here. First things first, we get the tank itself. So here is the Hellbeast. We'll take a better look at that in just a minute here. Now this box contains many parts and pieces and doodads, so we're going to go through them one by one here, starting with the glass piece. So it does come with a spare glass piece, just kind of rattling around in there though. So yeah, there's the glass. Ta-da, it's a spare glass, nothing too fancy. We've got the mouth to lung coil adapter. This one fits the Nautilus coils, and I'll show you how to install this and everything in just a minute here. So we also get the 510 drip tip and drip tip adapter. These are really nice because it is a little bit of a better fit for mouth to lung vaping. You get this little tiny pawn kind of style drip tip and a little 510 adapter just like that. And then we've got the coil. So you get a spare coil with this. It's a mesh coil. I'll show you guys a little bit better view in a second. These are 0.2 ohms, good for 30 to 90 watts. So pretty much your typical mesh coil, I suppose. And then we have the O-rings, a little baggie of O-rings. Lots and lots of O-ring replacements there. Full set, of course. And in the very, very bottom, we have the instruction manual. Oh no. 5 points off immediately. 5 points off for being a terrible fold out. Ugh. These are super annoying. You add 2 points back on because it's got color graphics, but it's got 6 different languages on here, and it's just such a pain. I hate fold-out manuals. Alright guys, let's talk about the specs. First of all, it's a collaboration with Beyond Vape. It's 24 millimeters in diameter. It holds 3.5 mils of juice with the Nautilus coil and adapter, 4 mils of juice with standard juice capacity, sub-ohm coil, and 4.3 mils of juice with a Smoke TFE8 coil. It has superior stainless steel construction, Pyrex glass reinforcements, push sliding top fill system, Hellvape Hellbeast coil system, 0.2 ohm mesh H1 coil rated for 60 to 80 watts, compatible with Smoke TFE8 Baby and Vaperesso GT coils, compatible with Nautilus coils with the adapter included, dual purpose airflow system, mouth to lung and cloud chasing options, dual slotted bottom airflow control ring, detachable structure, 810 wide bore drip tip included, 510 mouth to lung drip tip included, 510 drip tip adapter included, and it's got a 510 connection. Alright guys, so let's go from top to bottom with the Hellbeast tank. Let's start it off with the drip tip up top here. And this is a really cool looking fancy drip tip if you ask me. It's got like the gold flake top and like a resiny bottom. Nice 810 wide bore tip, as you can see, wide bore through there, and same on the bottom. And just to show you guys that it is in fact a standard 810 tip, we've got a dead rabbit tip right there, and it just fits beautifully in place. No wiggle or wobble or anything like that. You've got the O-ring happening on the inside lip of the tank here, and that holds onto every single drip tip that I've used with it nice and securely. You can also see the bore right down the middle there, which is a little bit narrower than the actual drip tip itself, but with that it's going to be about halfway between a standard 510 and an 810 bore, I would say. We've got the little arrow on here indicating that that's where you want to push to open this thing up to fill it. Very easy filling system. However, I feel like it could have gone a little bit further because it kind of closes off this little mouthpiece a little bit with the edge of the top cap right there. We've got this Hellbeast engraving on the top section, which I think looks really, really cool. And let's just go ahead and open this thing up real quick. So this glass is very easily replaceable. You just lift it off like that and you can change it out for the replacement that's in the box. Here is your mesh coil head. Hopefully you guys can see that. Nice mesh coil in there. I can vape this thing about 75-80 watts or so. Really wouldn't push it too much higher than that. I prefer vaping this thing at about 65 watts or so. So as you can see on the bottom section here, there is a little plate that is your connection. That's also going to serve as your connection when you're using it with the Nautilus coil adapter, this piece right here. And all you have to do to make this into a mouth-to-lung tank is simply just screw this piece in, just like this. And it's pretty easy. Threads are decent, if not a tiny bit squeaky. And that's it. This thing will now accept a Nautilus coil, and you can use it in mouth-to-lung mode. As far as the airflow control is concerned, right now it is in mouth-to-lung mode. As you can see, there's only a couple of dots showing there. So let's go ahead and open that up if we can. So now we have 5 different airflow options. As you can see, they're all different sized holes. You can cut them off if you wish. And the direct to lung airflow options, you just keep turning it until you open both sides up, and now you have a dual airflow kind of Cyclops style eye there, and matched of course on the other side. And there's your airflow for direct to lung. So on the very bottom we have a bunch of engravings. It says a collaborative creation by Hellvape and Beyond Vape around the outside. It has Hellbeast right there on the top and the Hellvape and Beyond Vape logos on the bottom. Serial number right there on the side, and there is your gold plated 510 connection. So there you go. That's all I've got for you guys in this little close-up section. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of this video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off with the pros, my first pro is that it's good at doing both direct-to-lung mode and mouth-to-lung. Now that's something that comes as quite a shock to me, because I'm a firm believer that something that's meant to do more than one task, like a convertible RDTA to RDA, one of those things is going to suffer. That is not true with this device here. Both aspects, the direct-to-lung and mouth-to-lung aspect, are very, very well executed on this device. And I could really recommend this to either or direct-to-lung vapors or mouth-to-lung vapors. You're going to get a great experience doing both. And my second pro for this device is that it's versatile. Now, in direct-to-lung mode, you can fit the Hellbeast coils, of course, but also it fits the Baby Beast coils and the GT family coil series from Vaperesso, as well as the many other third-party coils. And with that, if you guys have multiple tanks out there that you might have broken the glass on or just got tired of, this thing is going to take a lot of those coil heads. And my third pro today is the airflow control. They did a really good job with the mouth-to-lung airflow control on this thing. You have 5 different levels to choose from, and typically I like a super restricted draw. This thing can not only deliver that, but you get the adjustability as well. And my fourth and final pro is changing modes is super duper simple. All it requires is taking out the old coil, popping in the adapter, screwing in a Nautilus coil, giving a little bit of juice, and putting the whole thing back together, filling it from the top, and that's it. You are ready to vape in mouth-to-lung mode. All right, guys, so moving on to the cons, my first con is that this thing's going to be a little bit more difficult to clean. Now, working at a vape shop, I have seen tanks in some of the worst states imaginable. You know, you get some pocket lint in there, you get dirt in there, or dust, or just anything else. It's gross, it's really nasty. Maintenance of your tanks is absolutely crucial here, guys, but this one's going to be a little bit more difficult to clean because it's got that gold-plated contact on the bottom, and it just kind of is a little bit hard to get under, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. So I can imagine cleaning this thing is going to take a little extra time. But please, please maintain your tanks. Otherwise, it's just really nasty. And my second con for this one is the limited juice capacity in direct to lung mode. Now, in mouth to lung mode, it holds 3.5 mils, which is more than enough for a full day's vaping. But in direct to lung, it only holds 4 mils of juice. And as I've said many times, 5 mils should be the industry standards for sub-ohm tanks. And this one being 4 mils just kind of comes right under there for me. And honestly, I just really wish they came out with a bubble glass for this thing right there in the box. And my third con today is that it's a little bit on the louder side and it's slightly turbulent. Now, it's definitely not the worst offender I've ever seen, but after a while, that whooshing sound of the airflow just kind of gets in your head, and you can almost give yourself a little bit of a headache with this one. I'll give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. And my fourth and final con for this device is that removing the 510 drip tip adapter can be very difficult. Now, it took me about 5 minutes changing this thing over from mouth to lung to direct to lung mode just before recording this video, and 4 of those 5 minutes were spent trying to get that 510 drip tip adapter out. They could have just cut a little notch in there or something where we can grab onto it with a pair of tweezers, but instead, it really is just a struggle trying to get that thing out of there. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for review? Yes, 100% hands down yes on this device. I think everyone should have a Hellbeast in their collection. It's only 30 bucks and it does 2 tasks really well. Nothing really suffers with this device here. Direct to lung, you get the mesh coils and the versatility of taking many different coil families. And with the mouth to lung side, you have that nice tight draw that you're looking for with a really great airflow control. And of course, Nautilus coils. You really can't go wrong with Nautilus coils in my opinion. So with that, if you guys want to pick one up for yourself, I'll have a link on my website. Link to that will be right down there in the description below. But anyways, guys, that about does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Leave your comments down in the box below and make sure you check out the advocacy and my social media links right down there in the description. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on.